That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, we are going to try something new. I'm going to go over my rest of season rankings at every single position on Friday, and then on Saturday I will be going through all of your questions, at least as many as I can get to from Instagram and Twitter. So I need two things from y'all. One, please go down there, drop a like on this video because these videos take so much work to really get out for y'all. And two, make sure you go follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Then you're going to see a story on Instagram. On Twitter, I don't know how to do stories, so we're just going to send out a tweet. And then you'll see that I'm either going to be looking for screenshots of your roster, I'm going to be looking for start sit decisions. Whatever it is, you will see it, and I will use it in the videos for Saturday. But make sure you are going and following us there. Please, please, please also drop a like on this video because they take so much time to make. All right, so now let's get into it and let's talk about our top 12 tight ends for the rest of the 2020 football season. And let's start it off with everybody's number one tight end, Travis Kelce. Guys, with Travis Kelce, it's going to be almost impossible to have any consideration for any other tight end at this number one spot. Y'all know at the very beginning of the year, I was claiming that George Kittle was the number one tight end in fantasy football. Really, with George Kittle, we love the talent profile, but Travis Kelce right now is the healthy tight end. Travis Kelce is the tight end that's seeing not only a significant amount of targets in his offense, but he's also seeing targets significantly further down the football field than any other tight end in the NFL. And also, we just know that he's the most talented tight end playing with the most talented quarterback. Really, no reason to overthink this here with Travis Kelce at 1. Now, coming in here at 2, we are going to stay true and have Darren Waller. With Darren Waller, another very similar situation to Travis Kelce, where really you cannot come in here and legitimately make an argument for having any other option here at tight end 2. I think earlier coming into the season, I would have made the argument to have Mark Andrews ahead of him. But right now, what we've seen from Darren Waller, where there have been multiple weeks where Darren Waller has gone out there and captured a 30% target share for the Las Vegas Raiders, he's definitely going to have the nicest ceiling / floor combination of all the healthy tight ends outside of Travis Kelce. All right, so now coming in here at 3, we are going to have a tight end that was our number one buy low candidate over the past few weeks. Mark Andrews. Now I know, yes, in week 12, it's going to be very hard to project Mark Andrews. One, we don't even know if we're going to have the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers play. 2, we're not going to have Lamar Jackson in this game, even if that game gets kicked off. So with Mark Andrews, not a tight end that I want in our starting lineups in week 12. But if you look at his talent profile and you look at the role that he has in his offense, he is clearly the tight end 3 for me rest of season. All right, now coming in here at tight end 4, this is going to be the same player that we had last week and the week before that at our tight end 4 spot. I know a lot of people want to come out here and give us a significant amount of hate for it. I don't care. TJ Hockenson. Guys, Hockenson, we know, has that elite athletic and overall college profile coming into Detroit. He was selected in the top 10 of the NFL draft. He continues to increase his role in this Detroit Lions offense. Now, I will say I was worried about TJ Hockenson a little bit in Detroit, just thinking that he was maybe going to be used as more of a run blocker and someone that's been used to really protect Matthew Stafford. But no, with TJ Hockenson, he's consistently showed us that not only does he have that touchdown equity in his offense, where when they get down to the red zone, they are going to look over in TJ Hawkinson's direction. But on top of that, he showed us that he has had a decent amount of upside with his big play ability. That's something that I don't expect to go anywhere. I think TJ Hockenson is only going to continue to get better as the year goes on, as he's still an extremely young tight end. And generally, we know that the tight end position is one that it takes 3 years for these players to learn, because not only do you have to learn how to be a wide receiver, you have to learn how to be an offensive lineman as well. And TJ Hockenson already providing us that production so far. I think the ceiling is the limit. All right, so now coming in here at tight end 5, someone that's very similar to TJ Hockenson, actually someone that played on the same college team, getting drafted in the same NFL draft, Noah Fant. I mean, very rarely do we ever see a combination of teammates on the same college team get selected at the very beginning of the NFL draft at the same position. And on top of that, both provide their NFL teams with a ton of production. That's exactly what we're seeing with Noah Fant. Noah Fant is truly one of the most athletic tight ends in the entire NFL, getting selected in the first round by the Denver Broncos in 2019. He's already showed that he has that elite upside in his yards after the catch ability. With Noah Fant, I know this is going to be an extremely aggressive ranking for him, but I want to stand by the fact that he's going to be a tight end that has that maintain decent level of usage in his offense, and as long as he is getting the target share, I think that Noah Fant has a ton of upside, because if we are talking about big play ability, I mean, at the tight end position, outside of Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and then I want to argue George Kittle, I think nobody can match what Noah Fant can provide for you in terms of a per target basis. All right, so now coming in here at tight end 6, I know y'all are going to have him a lot higher than I do, but Rob Gronkowski, here honestly, I don't even think that this is too low of a ranking for Gronk, knowing that he is currently playing in an offense that has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and they want to run the ball and throw it to the running backs out of the backfields. With Gronk, clearly he just had to work himself into football shape as the season goes on, and now he is one of those top options for Tom Brady in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. But right now, there are so many solid options to go to for Tom Brady that I think we're just going to be seeing Rob Gronkowski push down a little bit in the target totem pole. And on top of that, we know that we have seen the other tight end in Tampa Bay continue to see some usage in the red zone. So I think we have to be a little bit hesitant with our ranking on Gronk. Okay, now coming in here at 17, going to be a player that is extremely risky, but he has more upside than anybody else on this list. George Kittle. Guys, with George Kittle, I am not saying that we're 100% going to have him back for the fantasy football playoffs, but I think it is in the range of outcomes. And now everybody that's been coming into the live streams asking me if they should roster George Kittle, pick him up off the waiver wire. Yes, I mean, what running back or wide receiver are you going to be able to find with the same level of upside as a George Kittle off the waiver wire? If there's even only a 25% chance that we get George Kittle back by week 14 or week 15, that pickup is going to be worth it, because every week that he's going to be active, we are going to be projecting him to be the tight end 2 only behind Travis Kelce and be a truly elite difference maker at the tight end position. All right, so now coming in here at tight end 7, a player that I told y'all to buy low on a few weeks ago, Dallas Goedert. And I know a lot of people are going to be worried about Zach Ertz coming back to this Philadelphia Eagles offense, but what we saw from Zach Ertz earlier on this season really shows me that Ertz is completely washed. I don't think we are going to see Carson Wentz look to Zach Ertz at nearly the rate that he has so far in his NFL career, because Zach Ertz had the offense entirely to himself. I mean, he only was competing for targets with Travis Fulgham. Zach Ertz was seeing over 10 targets a game and providing us no production whatsoever. So really, I think Ertz is dust. I think Goedert is the man now in Philadelphia. We're going to have him in here at 7. All right, so now coming in here at tight end 8, we are going to have Hunter Henry. I think Hunter Henry is one of the most talented one of the most talented receivers at the tight end position in the entire NFL. The problem is, in that offense, we know that we are going to be projecting Keenan Allen to have a 30% market share, and that is just going to be taking so much away from Hunter Henry, where I don't necessarily think that he has the elite upside as some of these other options. But we know with Hunter Henry, he is playing on an offense that looks to be so productive with Justin Herbert. On top of that, Henry has a very strong schedule for the fantasy football playoffs. All right, now coming in here at tight end 9, we are going to have Austin Hooper. Guys, with Austin Hooper, I maintain my stance that I think we are going to see the Cleveland Browns be forced to lean on Austin Hooper after giving him a record-breaking tight end deal in terms of guaranteed money in the 2020 offseason. On top of that, we know that without Odell Beckham Jr., they are desperate for playmakers in the passing game. I mean, really, they cannot throw the ball to the running backs, at least not to Nick Chubb, who has 4 targets so far this season. Yes, Kareem Hunt has provided them some usage in that area of the football fields, but also at the wide receiver position, Jarvis Landry is completely washed. He is dust. And really, they have nobody else to go to. Donovan Peoples-Jones is not stepping up into that role where we would want to see him. I think they're just going to have to continue to lean on Austin Hooper. All right, so now coming in here at tight end 10, this is going to be a lot lower than where he was earlier on the season. This is going to be Jonnu Smith. Guys, I think the problem with Jonnu Smith was he was just overvalued earlier this season based off of a lot of that production coming from games where we were either missing A.J. Brown or Corey Davis. So the Tennessee Titans really needed that second guy to go up there and step up for them in the passing game. That's what they found with Jonnu Smith. But every game that we have both A.J. Brown and Corey Davis 100% healthy in, Jonnu Smith is taking a backseat. All right, now coming in here at tight end 11, has a fantastic schedule for the fantasy football playoffs. On top of that, very similar to a Noah Fant, Evan Engram. The one problem is Evan Engram has not had the consistent usage. And actually, there's a second problem because when he has had the usage, he's not provided us the efficiency that you would assume with the tight end of that athletic profile. But still, given the schedule, given what we've seen from him so far in his NFL career, when he's been healthy in terms of his points per game numbers, it's going to be very hard to get away from a tight end like Evan Engram. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And I hope I'll see y'all in the live stream tonight.